Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be the Champs Week in Review for 12/27, week ending in 12/27. It was Christmas week, and there was a ton going on in the game. I want to start with the end of the 12 Days of Christmas event, um, the solo event that happened. Um, Top Shelf Booty finished first. They edged out 1% and got their faction 100 gookers. So congratulations to them. It was a very long 12 day of Christmas event, and I kind of separated into two parts when I talk about it um, for the 12 days. Uh, it was a mixed bag to me. Some parts of it I thought were actually pretty good, and some parts not so much. So the free stuff daily I thought actually was pretty great. You were getting 200,000 coin a day, 50 health packs a day, um, a bunch of tokens, some TP. So actually, as far as what they gave away during the 12 days, I was happy with that. I thought it was pretty good for the free stuff. The event itself was extremely paywalled. So for me, that was a miss. Although there were two parts, a couple days where you could grind, maybe 3 days, I want to say 2 or 3, where you could grind out some levels of rewards. One, you needed a bunch of blitz tickets, and the other one, you needed to survive a bunch of survival matches. So those two weren't bad. I would like to have seen a combination where if you wanted to grind, you'd have the chance. Sure, it might be almost impossible. Maybe you'd have to play for 24 hours straight, but it would have been nice if there would have been a grind aspect mixed in with the pay aspect. So I'm going to say it wasn't my favorite event ever personally, um, as far as the 12 days goes. There was a lot of stuff going on, and, you know, it kept you busy, but it wasn't my favorite event. I'll just leave it at that. Um, there were some good parts though. I thought the free stuff um, was quite good. So let's move on to the weekend. Really, kind of the weekend. So starting in the middle of the week, we had the R-Truth trial, which started out pretty rough. People couldn't claim him. Some people couldn't, and it took them a while, but they did get it fixed. They sent the stuff out to the mailbox again for those people that didn't get it. So the first part was kind of marred by that. That part went a little rough. Um, as far as a character goes, I really like him as an acrobat. Acrobat happens to be my least favorite class in the game, so I don't use them a lot. He was really fun to play. He recycles a lot, hits decently, gets started pretty fast, and the snowfall gems are actually really neat. I'm pretty excited about this mechanic. Hopefully they do more with them. I mean, you could put blast gems underneath them, cross breaks, X breaks, row breaks, columns. Columns probably wouldn't make sense though, but they're a really neat gem that's going to have a lot of potential in the game. So I'm excited about that. R-Truth is fun to play. I'd say he's a top tier acrobat. Um, Top tier acrobat is not as good as a top tier in other classes, in my opinion, but he is a top tier acrobat. I'd say top 3, 4, something like that, probably, maybe 5 at the worst. And really fun to play in the new gem type. So I enjoyed testing him, playing him. I thought it was cool. Now, as far as the truth events, I want to separate this into two parts. For a lot of the debut character releases, you're rarely going to get them lately, it seems, and I don't have a problem with that, with a few caveats. Um, in this case, I thought his event was great, and I'll explain why. There was a lot of different facets. You had tours in the trial, and then you could earn some shards there. Not a ton, but you could earn some. There's also Orton shards, some nice resources. So some month-long points, some 12-day points. I thought his tours were pretty good. But then that moves us into the weekend event with the Flash Feuds and his debut. Um, while it was almost impossible to get him, and his shards did not really drop in the loot, which was disappointing to a lot of people. Um, there was a lot of resources this weekend, and the event was much more maxable than ones we've had in the past. So for me, the event itself was a win, just for the fact that if you did your flash feud bonuses, assuming you had a lot of them, actually, I believe when I did the sheet, if you had everyone, you were able to get like 1.3 million more than the max if you had everyone. So you could miss a lot of guys, including R-Truth, which I won't really count him. So we'll say 900,000. And you were still able to max it, and then they added a cash spending aspect too in case you weren't. So it was a pretty good event, but there were loads of resources. But when you factored in the faction milestones, the truth solo milestones, and then the milestones for the truth shards, in conjunction with the new store, which I'll take a look at right here, your league makes a difference what you get for these tokens, and I hope this stays, actually. Assuming it stays something like this. The league shop was pretty cool. If you're League 16, 10 of your coin packs ended up being 1.2 million. And 10 of your TP packs ended up being 160 TP. So that was pretty cool. I really liked that aspect. I liked how many they gave out. What was a little bit unfortunate was there was a big spread of RNG on the truth shards, like normal. It seemed like the range was about 1,400 shards to 1,800 shards for most people. If you were like 1,700 to 1,800 shards, you got a ton of rewards from the truth milestone. If you were under that, not quite as much. But between the flash feud, the solo, the coins in between the flash feuds, there were a lot of coins and TP given out this weekend. So overall, I want to say this was by far the best event of the month, and a lot of resources in it. So I would, for one, would be really happy to see more events like this. And I wasn't focusing on getting R-Truth or not. To me, that wasn't what made the event. The fact that I could max it and get a ton of resources, as far as the solo portion goes, was what made it a good event. It'd be nice if they'd take the RNG part out of the shard portion of it, or at least put a lot of those rewards into the coin pack things into the solo portion, where you could get the rewards without being totally RNG based. So I would like to see that change, but otherwise I felt like this event was a huge win, even if getting truth wasn't really an option. Unless you had insane luck. Maybe a couple people got them, you might have got them in pulls, but overall I think it was a great event. For me anyway, I enjoyed it. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. So that's gonna move me to talking about the different content creators. So for me, my second giveaway is live now, so I'm pretty excited about that. I dropped a prize wall analysis video. Got a bunch more stuff coming this week, so make sure and check those out. Big news for Gerson. His PC's back, and he's back doing his thing, so you'll see a lot more G videos. But there's also a big change for him. For now anyway, he's going to be doing his streams on Twitch, so you'll need to check him out on Twitch to catch his streams. Benny had a pretty busy week outside of the game. He did have his Macho giveaway this week, which was pretty awesome, and he's expecting to do a lot more videos this week, depending on how things work out. Brian also had a pretty busy week. He had his R-Truth preview that came out, and he was doing a lot of cooking. So he said, depending on the tours, be watching for tour videos next week. DJ had a huge week. He did his Twitch Miss stream giveaway, where he gave away 5 wrestlers with gear during the course of the stream. And he had over 140 viewers watching on Twitch, which is a huge amount, actually. I was there for all of that one. It was a ton of fun. if you've never checked out a DJ Twitch stream, you absolutely need to. It's one of the more, it's probably the most entertaining and fun thing I do in relation to champions. Um, I give him a bunch of crap. He's super entertaining. A lot of people show up. Um, if you haven't been on Twitch, you might not understand some of the words I'm gonna throw out here. But he had 3 different hype trains. There were subs going everywhere, being gifted out, and biddies were flying all over the screen. So it was a super fun stream. Highly recommend checking it out. I'm there most of his streams. In fact, pretty much all of them I can make. So that's what's going on with the content creators. Which is gonna bring me to update on the the fantasy football league that's going on. They've moved into, this week is the championship rounds, so they're on to the end. So in the semifinals, Whippet from Team Slam just barely edged out Murdog from Grim. So Whippet will be in the championship match against Pro Focus from Haven, and Dopey from Wolfpack. So Pro Focus versus Whippet for the championship, and we got Murdog versus Dopey for the 3rd place game, and then in the constellation games, it's going to be Army Joe versus G Besco for 5th and 6th, and Festerlicious versus Drew Rocks for 7th and 8th. So they're winding down on their fantasy event or season, and they had a ton of fun. So if you're interested in doing that next year, I'm sure you want to get in touch with Murdog. He's the one that's running it. Murdog's from Grim. He's in my server, so if you need to join my server, you can tag him. I'm sure he's not too hard to find. And that's his WWE Champions Fantasy Football League, the Faction War. So I'm going to place my pick, looking at Whippet's record and how his season's been going. I'm going to pick Whippet. Plus, I used to be in Team Slam, so I'm going to be a front runner and a homer, and cheer Whippet on for the finals here. So I should be able to update that next week. I think their season will be done, so be on the watch out for that. So this last week I talked about Among Us. We're still doing a bunch of that. So feel free to request an invite to the Among Us server. I play it, DJ plays it. I think we're going to get G playing it. So a lot of guys are playing it. It's open to anyone. It's a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked it out, you should. But this week, I'm going to talk about some other content creators in the game that aren't Scopely content creators, but that are putting out content, so you guys might want to check them out. I will put links to all these guys' channels and stuff in the description of the video, so you can check them out. So Jozeph99, he does mostly streaming and pull videos. Joe said that he likes streaming because it makes feuds and showdowns go faster, and having guests on the stream is fun. He's not a big fan of typing, so he'd rather talk. I've been on Joe's streams a bunch. A lot of times Punisher will be on his streams too, in voice, so he's worth checking out if you haven't. Just another place where you guys can see some Champions content. So again, I'll post the link to his YouTube channel in the description, so check Joe out. He's a good guy too. Then you got RetroIC Gaming. He does a lot of streaming. He's also on Twitch. He's an up and coming content creator, and he streams a lot. And he streamed with some pretty big names. He streamed with Colt Cabana and Brandon Cutler. So definitely go check his channel out. He's a really cool guy too. And if you want to ever talk to any of these guys or get in touch with them, they're also on my server. I will give you links to Retro's YouTube channel as well as his Twitch channel in the description as well. So go give him a look. Really cool guy, doing some neat stuff. The last one is one you guys probably know or have heard of. It's Zeke 410. He's a really great guy. Does a lot of interesting content. He's very real, so he's going to tell you exactly what he's thinking. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't. Go give him a look. He's got an interesting take on the game, which I really appreciate. So he's got a lot of good stuff to say. I will post his YouTube in the video, but this week he's got up and coming question and answers, a Q&A. And he's got a best of 2020 videos, and then he's going to be working on a beginner's guide for 2021. So looking forward to all of that stuff from Zeke. So make sure to go over there and check him out, and give these guys a shout out. As someone who started a channel from the ground up, I can say it's really hard and it takes a lot of work. So definitely, if you guys get some time, you have no idea how much a big deal it is to give people subscribe to subscribe their channel, to give them likes on their videos and give them that view, when it makes a huge difference. So if you guys get a chance, head over there, check them out, and you might find some new content that you really enjoy. That brings me to the chasing the monthly stuff at the end of the week 4 here, both the MLC and Orton shards. This was a really good week for me. There was a lot of MLC points in the week, and by far the most Orton shards. It has me thinking, like I said, they tend to backload these events. If they do another week like this week next week, there's a chance I might even be able to recruit Orton on shards, which I didn't think was really possible for me a couple weeks ago. But I kept grinding, doing my thing, and it looks like it may end up being possible. We'll have to see what drops this week, and my RNG from bags, which I still haven't opened. So on the left, you can see my scoring for the month long for the faction. Not for the faction, but for the MLC chase. Got a bunch from the faction as we're closing in on the final 2 milestones. Blitz as usual, there was a bunch. The daily website. Because of the trial, I was able to get those 2 coin events done essentially for free, and that let me do the other ones. So I did max all the coin this week. We had the Kabuki Warriors Tour, Mega Powers, and Nightmare Tour. You can see I didn't get a lot of the bonuses, hardly from the Mega Powers Tour, and normal and hard for the Nightmare Tour. Kabuki Warriors, I was able to snag all those. My Lacey, I ended up maxing out at 4-star gold, so I got a bunch of Lacey talent. Maxed the TP event. Not very many turnbuckles. I had, for Showdown, I had Andrade for some bonus points. You could use Lana in 1 blitz. I picked up some there. Truth Tours had 5K. Truth Events, there was a lot of stuff going on, so I just lumped it into 1 column. A few leaderboards, and then the daily gift of giving, which I did like day 2 of the month. That was where those points were. So picked up almost 150,000 month-long points this week. So really good week. I'm only 31,000 away from maxing it. So I don't like counting my chickens, my eggs before they hatch, but I feel pretty good about getting Orton at least at 3-star bronze. So for the shards, Blitz 3 was worth 80. My faction got a bunch of milestones. I got a bunch from there. I was able to do all the coins. That was a huge amount of shards. The TP event was a big amount. I'm up to 8 bags that I haven't opened yet. I'll be opening them pretty soon, I suppose. And then the truth stuff, I think, was 90 different shards from all of the different truth stuff. So picked up 515 shards this week, by far and away. I want to say 200 shards more than any other week this month so far. Brings my total to 1340 with 8 bags to open. So if we have another week like this week, I feel pretty good about my chances to shard recruit them. Although this week, I'm kind of, since my MLC score is high enough, I'm going to shut down Coin and TP and start building for next month. So that's going to be shut down for me. So I don't know that I'll shard recruit him, but that's okay. I'm happy to get him at 3-star bronze. Either way, I'll be taking him up quite quickly as I love that card. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, I think I want to keep doing this format. I'm liking it. Hopefully you guys are liking it. It would be really helpful if there's news in the game you want to hear about. Let me know. If there's something you want me to include, let me know. I may or may not be able to do that depending on what it is, or I may or may not want to depending on what it is. But definitely ask, because that won't hurt anything to ask. Let me know which also which segments you like, which you don't, if some were too long, if you'd like me to expand on some. Really interested to hear you guys' thoughts on this. It's going to continue to evolve, and I'd prefer it to be what you guys like, since I'm going to do it every week. And it looks like it is going to stay. I think it's worth my time, and people seem to like it. So make sure and let me know in the comments the parts you like, the parts you don't, if some are too long, if some are too short, all that good stuff. Other than that, guys, I hope you had a great holiday week, and I hope you have a great week coming up. So remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck out there.